you guys are also ready. I'm here. Not sure exactly what was happening in that. Ah, there's my chat. I was wondering what that was. Just needed to see what that was. Looks a little bit weird, right? The chat, it needs to be a bit bigger, I guess. Let me give that a little bit more space. Let's see what happens if we have some chat now. At the moment we have nothing, so I don't know if anybody's already here. If not, that's also fine. No worries. We're just gonna get started and see where we go today. We have some weird issue. As you can see, everything is gone that I had before. And I think that has to do with the fact that I now just deleted the Sprite importer because it was for me giving a lot of trouble and making everything slow. So everything that I put in using that Sprite importer seems to be no longer having uh, the correct sprites. And why that is beats me. See, there you go. It's missing because I didn't import it like I should when I don't have a sprite importer. But that doesn't matter. I can fix that probably pretty fast. Um, just need to see that it goes again because this is all called a sprite and a sprite files. It doesn't understand. So we're going to have some work here to do. Uh, Nothing we cannot fix though. It's just a bit of a shame because it takes much more work. So let's go with the left arm. Let's start with this one. File. Oh, wasn't my intention. File. Export. Export as. Gonna have to export it as PNGs to make it work. Because unfortunately, a sprite importer doesn't work anymore, and when it's not working, then we have an issue. So yeah, that means now I have to look which one is what. Did I just save that in a different place? Let me see. Export. Export as. Where the heck do you go? Wrong. That's why it was not working. Let's put this in a different folder. If we're gonna be organized, let's be organized, right? Hey, Stick Scholar, nice for you to be here. Welcome, welcome. It's always nice to have new faces. Anyway, at the moment I'm working on creating a drawbridge. For those of you who haven't seen this before, I'm trying to create a drawbridge mechanic that is made up of several parts of pixel art. I made maybe the stupidest mistake to lose my sprite importer. Well, lose it. I just deleted it because it was slowing down my stream. Every time I did that in Unity, basically I would have to wait 1.5 minutes for any sprite to be there. That is something I really don't want. So we're getting there. We're gonna do it again. Yeah, okay, revert. I didn't do anything to that. So welcome. I hope you're gonna like your stay here, Sticks. Sorry, I should look there. I always forget that I have sometimes a camera there and sometimes it's over there. And all this streaming is still pretty new to me, but I'm doing my best, the best I can. So hopefully you guys will also see that. I didn't click export yet. I was also already wondering where the heck are you, but now I know why. So there's my first one, my drawbridge left arm. And I'm gonna have to put that in single mode, that's right, tight, this should be full rect. And then you have not bilinear, but you always need point, no filter. Basically that makes for a sharper image in your pixel art. So now that I have that, I can put this back and put that sprite there. And that should fix at least part of my drawbridge. Although it's not in the correct place at the moment, but that is something I can fix later. first let's put everything back where it's supposed to be, and then we can start working on doing the other things again. It's a little bit of a drawback, but cannot always win, right? So file, here we go again, export, export as, slash pillar, and let's put it in the correct place. Did I do that? Guess so. Sometimes I really don't know if it did what it said it was supposed to be doing. Yeah, it should be doing that. Did it again in the wrong place. I'm gonna have to clean up this mess when when I'm done with all this shit. I don't know. I'm making a terrible mess. I don't know if I have my best day today. I hope so. I'm gonna do my best to make it nice. Um, there we go. The left arm I already have. Left pillar I have. And other drawbridge parts. I have to look for it. Where's my ace sprite? Where's my railing? There you go. This one. Hey, unexpected game dev. You're never unexpected to me, really. I expect you to be here. Kind of hope you will be there all the time, you know. It's getting used to having certain people in the stream. It's always nice to have you around. So, welcome again. I'm glad you're back. I made a little bit of a mistake, maybe. I I threw away my Sprite importer because last time, as you may remember, unexpected, there was a pretty much slowing down everything that I have in Unity. So I could call it a mistake. I could also call it maybe smart. I'm just exporting them now, so hopefully that will not slow down my Unity so much. Because yeah, you know, my laptop is I wouldn't say Stone Ages, but it is not exactly fit for the job. Um, so you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Should work if that is not working like that. Sorry. Put it in the correct place. And I'm gonna have to reposition again everything all by myself again, all by hand. Hooray, hooray. I love that I did that. Crossing fingers for you. Yeah, thank you. Crossing fingers for myself too, to be honest. It's getting rather ridiculous to have all this stuff going wrong, but yeah, it is what it is. One day I hope to be able to afford myself a better laptop. Oh well. Until that time, we're gonna have to do with what we have, right? That's why I did this throwing away the Sprite importer. I will put it back in for sure when I have a little bit of a stronger machine, or maybe when I feel a little bit more secure that it will work. But this is not was not exactly helping me develop anything, so it's not that hard. Basically, all we have to do is place them one by one, and then reposition everything. It's gonna be also the walls. All the walls are gone, so yeah, my brick wall sprite is missing. Fortunately, I don't have to do that hard because brick walls was already um, a prefab, and a prefab is easy to replace. So just hope that I did for the brick wall also an A sprite separate file. Hope so. Brick wall, where are you? There you are. And yes, this is not the way I should do it. This should be a tile set. I will explore later how to do that. I've been looking into A-Sprite, how to make tile sets. Um, as I've always told in my streams, I'm not an artist. I've never done this stuff before I started making this game. And I know that this is not the correct way. For sure it isn't. And I will make it tile sets whenever I get to it. Um, but for now it's not there yet. So I already had a brick wall PNG. Oh well, let's override it. I want to make sure that I have a correct one. So now we go again to the brick wall. Where the heck are you? Already starting to have quite a lot of things in here. So let's change this again. That's the most tedious part of this. Just keep on changing that. But it'll work. And that's the most important thing. So, where are you, brick wall? There. Missing your sprite. I know. Don't feel bad, I'll fix you. Here. Here's your brick wall again. Boom. And we got a lot of walls again. So now we can position the walls a bit. Let's do that all at once. If I can, that is. I always have a little bit of trouble positioning it perfectly, but that is gonna be what it is. Quick reboot, okay. It does help, however, that I now am making it PNGs, I guess. Maybe those are a little bit more lightweight, and that will make it a little bit easier to maneuver around. So let's hope that actually fixes some of my issues that I had. I have to move all this stuff by hand, but it is what it is, right? That's how we work. So I hope you guys are not gonna run away screaming, "This guy knows nothing," because I even tell it in my stream. I'm here also for the people who are new to all of this. I hope to be beginner friendly. I hope you guys like that I am not afraid to also show failure, because yeah, I will fail a lot most likely. This sprite is also completely terrible. I need to export that one again, I guess, because it has a perfect, nicely polygon collider, but for whatever reason I exported this thing way too strange. This is way out of whack. It's too big. So let me open that one also. Drawbridge, but left ground. Where are you? Ground drawbridge left. There you go. Yeah, see, I make the completely crazy lines for that. So this is huge. I need to crop this, but not like that, of course. That should be it. Sprite. Where's the crop there? Crop. And that actually also might, first of all, save it. That also might fix my problem with the pivot point not being in the correct place, or at least fix it almost. Because at least, well, not this one, I guess, but it will have some issues with that. So ground for the drawbridge, left export. There you go. So that means I will have to replace that because I just put it in a different place. Or did I? Sometimes I don't understand it. It looks like it does it, but it didn't do it yet. A sprite with its nice weirdness. Point no filter. Here we go again. Apply. It will definitely need a cleanup in AL5 before I'm done with this thing. I have so much crap in different folders now, but I'm trying to get more organized. So sometimes I might have things not where I wanted them to be uh, positioned, so that will not give me the effect that I want. Saving it a little bit so I can start moving this in a proper way. Yeah, I was saying that already in another person's stream. My laptop hardly can hack this. This is really tough for my laptop. It wants to do it correctly, but it really suffers. And trying to get everything pixel perfect when you can not hardly move it by pixel. I have this clunky thing as a mouse for that, so I'm not drawing on a tablet or anything like that. I just do it by hand. I think I'm basically gonna control first the left side of the bridge, and I don't care about the right side. I will just not control it. Just see if the left side works, then I can do the same for the right side. It should not be that hard anymore. Um, so yeah, uh, let me put my pillar in position. Pillar is a bit big, this so that does need some movement, some detailing too. Oof. But at least you also get to see how the positioning goes in this kind of project. It's really very specific and very precise, and it takes a little bit of time to do. Uh, Not exactly easy, but it's fun, and in the end, we will get it. That's for sure. So now the left arm has to go back in place. Up you go. Too far because it has to pivot around here. Let's see if I'm correct here. Looks pretty much okay. I'm wondering if I have it in front or behind that pillar. If I want to have it in which offset basically. Order in layer is very important in this case because I might want to have something on top of the other thing. So, okay, the walls I don't have to look at anymore. They're working. I have the left arm. I need the gray box still. Open file. There we go. Gray box. Where are you? Draw bridge gray box there. My microphone is too low again. This is better. I don't think I did my microphone volume anything. It's just sometimes it's not positioned correctly near my mouth or something. It's basically the trouble that I have with that. So I hope this is better right now. Good, good, good. And anyone who is here, if you're having trouble hearing me, please don't be afraid to tell me because I cannot guess it. Because I don't hear myself. I just basically do whatever I can and try to make it work. Oh, come on. Don't you hate it when your laptop is so slow and you click the wrong place? That makes it wait even longer. So basically what I will learn today, or will try to learn today, is how to make those walls or whatever we have here um, made by a tile set. So I can actually uh, later do that the proper way. I've seen some tutorial videos. Looks super easy, but that always looks super easy when somebody who knows what they're doing is doing it, basically. That's how it's going. If you know what you're doing, everything looks simple, right? When I do it, it takes forever. Let me see the moving part, the moving ground. That's right. I don't want the right. I want the left. Left moving ground. There we go. Export, export as drawbridge, but for some reason it doesn't go to my drawbridge folder, which I find really weird. At least this way it's gonna get a bit more organized than it was before. But yeah, I wish it would remember which folder I was using before, because it makes no sense that I have to do that all the time. Not tight, but full rect, please. Not bilinear, but point, no filter. Apply that shit. Here we go. So now my left moving ground can have the correct sprite. At least it's loading a lot faster than it did last time, don't you think? Because last time I was trying to load any of these things, it took me, I don't know, 3 minutes per thing that I saved. Every time it had to reload, it was incredibly slow, and it was incredibly annoying because of that. I didn't want to have to make you guys wait, but fortunately for you guys, I can talk. I'm not a quiet person. I guess that's also a quality most streamers should have. Otherwise, what are you gonna do if there's an awkward silence, right? Nobody wants awkward silences. I don't want one of those at least. My gray box, I still didn't import it, I think, or at least I didn't put it in. Did I import that? Yes. Should go to the gray box left. There you go. Sprite missing, no longer. There you go. But it's not in place. And we had that connected to this one, so I guess we more or less have the left part again as it was before. Right? And the right part, we'll see about that later. I'm just going to even turn off the ground for that one. I don't need it right now. I don't want it right now. I'll turn it off in the script also. I'm going to figure out how to move the left part. If I can do the left part, I can most likely do the right part. So should not be a big issue after that. Oh, and by the way, you guys, I have not shown you guys this yet, but um, I got a very, very cool upgrade of my Gaia character uh, the other day. I'm gonna put this on another screen. You guys don't have to see everything that's in my hard drive. So just have a second. I'm gonna put this away. Go to the other screen. Damn it. Goddamn. Never works the way I want it. Oh well. Got it. I got a new version of my image, basically the Gaia idle animation, because it was worked on by a super duper awesome guy uh, who is very active also on Twitch. He's called Acer Ash, and he was kind enough to make a new version of the idle animation that I still have. I think I still have to export that. I'm gonna have to see about that. I just got it recently, and since I cannot find it, I wonder if I downloaded it already. Um, if I didn't, then I will have to do that, and I'm gonna have to make it into a GIF again, or into a moving animation. If I have that, then I can show you guys and put that into the chat or whatever. I will not probably do that today, but just know that it was a super cool addition and a super cool change. And if Acer Ash ever watches my stream, thank you very much. It was super cool to see you do that live on stream. That was amazing. I am in awe of what you do, and I hope one day I can do the same kind of thing. But I know it takes practice, and you come from the animation business, so this is something you do. That's basically your job that it always has been. Uh, but yeah, so you guys will see a new version of the idle animation of Gaia soon. Um, she looks totally different. She has her arm is, for example, now. Let me point it out. Is here this part? This is sticking out. He made it so it's more like also on the hip, so it's not sticking out awkwardly. It moves better. Uh, Everything is a little better than it was. So it's definitely an improvement, and I will definitely start using that one when I am ready to do so. Was gonna look pretty quick if I could find it, but I didn't. Call me bad prepared. I am. I know. I'm sorry. Sue me. So let's go to the code. Basically, what I'm going to do here, as I'm not going to do anything with the right side, I'm going to turn this off in the code. So no matter what happens, we're not going to raise the right side of the drawbridge. That's not the best way to do it. There we go. And I don't really care about the lower drawbridge anyway, so we'll never call that one for now. So also that means we don't have to do any of this right now. Um, and that means we don't need either of these variables, or even the ones at the top right now are not needed. And yes, I will turn everything back on. Don't worry, I will. It's just a matter of time. I'm pointing behind my dragon logo. Oh, that is a shame. I could not see that myself. Let's go back. Now it's importing. That's always the same. Then I'll point at the arm up here, just behind my rotating mouse. Right there, that piece of arm is not going to stick out anymore in the new animation. That is more on the hip, so it will be a little bit more normal and less awkward, because why would that arm stick out? What is it doing with that arm there? It feels a bit, I have my arm here. But also the dress moves a little better, more, not that correctly at the same time with the head, because that is a little bit, it goes a little afterwards. It's hard to explain when you don't see it, but I'm going to show you guys probably in the next stream or something, or I'll just have it imported already and work with that. Um, let's see how it goes. And I've basically figured out that I want to have not just one gizmo here for the left arm pivot point, but I also want to have one for the ground pivot point, because I have that left pivot point ground. I also want to draw a gizmo for that. I want to know where we are, basically. So gizmos.color, color.red, of course. Gizmos. It was before, it was a much easier thing to do, because yeah, it was very cool of him. He's absolutely a trooper, I would say. Super cool that you would even consider doing that for free for somebody else. And he said basically that he enjoys that, enjoying helping others make their things work. Yeah, this I have to just completely turn off. Otherwise, I'm going to have errors. And if we have errors, we cannot compile. If we cannot compile, nothing will work at all. Let's see if this is going to be a bit faster now. And kids, hydrate. Very important. I think I'm going to have to put in a reward that people can do with the channel points, where you can just say hydrate, and I am forced to drink, because I keep forgetting that stuff when I'm working on this. It's already been compiled. That's okay. Let's see. Oh, it says it has errors. We have two bridge round right ground. Where the heck does it say that I'm still accessing that then? Up there. Okay. Okay, okay. There we go. That should remove the issue. Also remove the need for the double brackets, but I don't care. Prefer to have double brackets than errors. It's a little more quiet today. It looks like. Don't know if people are just busy or not there, or they're just quiet. Could be either way. It's fine. You don't have to talk. It's always nicer when people do, of course. But if they don't, I will just be schizophrenic today. Sorry for the cough. Still not completely over. My voice was gone basically all of last week. Just got it back, and I still have a little bit of a cough, but the rest is good. Everyone is melted. Yeah. Well, everyone in the Netherlands most likely. It's like 32 degrees, and I don't. You don't want to know what temperature it is here on the attic. Because yeah, as you can see, I'm in a pointy roof. Um, it's not a picnic to be here. Let's clear the errors if it's done. It's always nice to have to wait for your compiler to be done. Let's see. I should have raised now for both of them. I do. See, this is too high. That is the problem. And this one is also too high. And that's why they don't go as I want them to. They will move out of place. And that is not what we want. 89.6 Fahrenheit. Yeah. For the people who do not know the Dutch metrics, that is a lot of degrees Fahrenheit for sure. So my pivot point is not correct. We want this to be gonna have to do a plus here, but how much? And I have to have an offset. Let's do something without actually moving. We don't want to move. I don't care about moving. I want to have a little bit of a debug here, and then we can maybe do something like an offset, so the pivot point can be calculated to be, let's say, the bottom of this black point here, and here it should be like exactly on that corner. Otherwise it will move, and we don't want it to move. It was easier before because I just had two boxes in Unity, and those are just squares, so you cannot go wrong. But this is a little angled, so because of the angle, we're not in the same position that we are expecting. We're going to have to figure that out. It's just going to be a little bit of an offset that I have to calculate. Hey, Half Moon. So nice that you're here. Welcome. You've just missed that I completely destroyed what I had so far. I had destroyed it because I figured out after last week's stream that it was a bit annoying to have the ASprite importer at the moment in the project, because basically the ASprite importer slowed down everything, because every time I would save one of my ASprite files, it would go reload for 3 minutes or whatever. And as much as I don't mind talking, I can imagine it would be also quite annoying if every time I save something, uh, you have to wait 3 minutes for it to come back. It's not very nice. Well, you're too late. You're never too late. You're also kind of a bit of a wizard right now, right? You're my Gandalf apprentice. You should be always arriving exactly when you mean to. So if you're not, you got to work on that. So what I am trying to do now, as we ended up last week, figuring out that we were not in the correct place with our pivot points. I'm now trying to figure out where they're supposed to be. So as you can see, the line starts too high for both of them. So this one basically starts in the middle of the railing. That one starts above everything. And that's basically because before I had simple squares or rectangles, and those rectangles are easy to calculate. You can easily calculate the pivot point. But now because it's a sprite, it has and it's slightly angled. The bottom is not the same, so you're not going to be in the same position. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get it where I want it. So I'm going to have to work with a little bit of an offset, and that's what I'm going to be making now, or trying to be making now. And let's hope we can get the pivot points to work correctly. So in this case, the X seems to be more or less right. So let's first create the plus, let's say 0.5f. I don't have a clue if that's correct, but I'm gonna do it one by one and we'll figure it out. It would be nice if it would just show this gizmo before I even start, so I don't have to wait for everything to load again. But at least it will show it. And I guess I'm gonna make this a serialized field so I can experiment a little bit while it's running and then just put the correct value. Should have done it probably immediately, but stubborn as I am, I never do that in time. I always do it later. Still pretty slow. Well, that's basically my laptop, and I'm sorry about that. It is what it is, guys. You're gonna have to deal with it until I have money to buy a better machine. So let's see where it goes now. I don't see any. Well, a little bit of movement, yes. Gonna be like one, probably. Um, and they will have two different offsets. So this is gonna have a serialized field. No, not that. That's not what I wanted. Private float. And float's gonna be called bridge. No, no, no. I'm doing this all wrong. Wrong place, sorry. I want to have it in the correct position. Call me crazy, but it has to be where I want it to be. Left pivot point ground off set Y. And if you're wondering why I have such a long name um, for my variables, is because I want to exactly know what it's doing. Point left pivot point arm offset Y, and that's actually the one that has 1.0. The ground probably is a lot less. That's going to be 0.5 probably. Let's try with this and see where we go. And I think the left arm might also have to go a little bit to the left to be where I want it to be. I love my headset, but the cord of my headset is so long that it just dropped on the floor because I don't have a good place to put it. We can call that the bloopers of Dragon Spirit games. Nice to wait. I just After last week, I think for a few days, I was still in awe and in shock that I got two donations. It was something I never expected. It was really cool, even though if it's just a start, you're gonna have to start getting small things, and once it gets higher, then we can work on getting some equipment or webcam or I don't know, anything that I might need. I don't see this changing at all. Or do I see it go up? I see it go up. So that was supposed to be minus. Usually, no. I guess I did it the wrong way around. As you can see, even I am not always thinking correctly in the Z and the whatever order. Sometimes goes the wrong way. That means now we're gonna try it with a minus 0.5F and a minus 1F. And of course I also need to put that on the arm. Did I just do it wrong? I put it so. Yeah, it's not gonna change, Max, if you don't put in the correct thing. God, I hard coded, then I make a variable, but never change the hard coded thing. Not sure what's wrong with me today. I'm not at my best. Thanks for sticking with me, you guys. It's very nice that you are so forgiving, because at the moment I'm doing it pretty wrong, and that probably means that I was correct. It should be plus. I think otherwise I go the wrong way. Um, and it means I need to put this one in. Let's see what that does then. Oh, oh, oh. Maybe I'm just being nervous after last time. Yeah, I blame the 89.6 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it doesn't help for sure. Especially here on the attic. I'm here with just a ventilator because I don't have air conditioning here. The other floors do. This one doesn't. But it's pretty awful if you're having to sit here. Hey, ITC Studios, so nice of you to join us again. You just came in after the point there where I just threw away basically half of what I already had in Look because I threw away the Sprite importer. Not because I don't like it, but basically because it slows down my entire laptop. My laptop is not cut out to do that because every time I imported anything or well, I basically didn't even have to import it, put something in my art assets folder, it would take like 3 minutes to re-render the entire scene. Um, and as much as I like talking, I don't want to have to talk 3 minutes every time I save an Sprite file. I already have this now with my compiling of C# scripts. So let's keep it a little on the less having to load stuff. Yeah, it was already last time. It's pretty annoying that that took so long. Probably that's just my machine. I don't think it's that slow for other people. It's just mine. This laptop basically is not cut out for game development. That's why I need a new one. But yeah, like I said before, it has to pay for itself. Otherwise, I will not do it because I don't need my family to suffer my hobby. That's hopefully gonna get more than a hobby. You never know. Um, Jesus, it's again getting super slow. Thanks for sticking with me, you guys. Looking forward to seeing the bridge working. Yeah, me too. I am actually now trying to figure out what the difference is in the pivot points just by drawing a ray so I can actually see from where it's trying to turn. And that's why it's now reloading so long. Because I just made a boo-boo. I had it hard-coded and never updated the fact that I'd made it a serializable field. So now I'm going to have to see what it does. See, it is minus. It goes the wrong way now. It goes up instead of down. Right. So my pivot points is completely wrong. So let's see if I do minus 0.5 and I make this minus 1. I would expect that to update, right? I guess not because it's calculated. Me and my super cool ideas just doesn't work because it's not showing that right now. Oh, did you do that or didn't you? Hello, Visual Studio, are you still there? Kind of thinking my Visual Studio crashed. No, it didn't. Okay, it's back. Took a little bit. In that case, it makes no sense to make them serializable fields, but yeah. So we're gonna have to wait probably another 2 minutes for this to compile. And this time I better just drink, hydrate. You have to hydrate. That's important. Especially in the current temperatures, because it's really way too hot right now. In the attic here, it must be close to 35, 36 degrees Celsius, maybe even higher. My wife would say open up the window, but it's not exactly cold outside either, so it doesn't make much difference. So yeah, what unexpected game dev said is quite true. Um, might also be the fact that this is very hot right now, so that doesn't help for how you feel. Am I the only one, or is there just a crazy thing here down down in the water that is not supposed to be there? I think my entire laptop is being too slow right now. Is the camera still a little bit up to speed for you guys, or is it slow as hell? Because for me, it seems like it's frozen all the time. Seems to be tying in with the loading of the scene. Jesus Christ, that's really terrible. I'm so sorry, guys, that you have to wait that long. Really not my intention to have you guys wait forever to get things done. It didn't save. Here it still is wrong. Yeah, doesn't feel okay to me. I'm getting really annoyed with the fact that everything is so damn slow. Should not be. I want you guys to have some nice experience in the stream, and it doesn't feel to me like it's very nice when things are so slow to update. Let's hope it makes a difference when I do it like this. Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you guys. Maybe it's also that I'm apologizing to myself. I have no clue. Okay, now it's too low. What happens if I try to do it like this? It's stupid. It doesn't update anymore after I just did that. So the ground is now too low. I would say minus 0.43 even, maybe 3.5. Let's start one by one. Not too many at the same time. Still too low. It's really just a little bit that it has to move apparently. Come on. Hey, Miss Pixie, thank you for the raid. 27 people, super nice. Welcome, everybody. That is super cool that you guys joined, and I hope you want to stay. I'm struggling a little bit because my laptop is very slow, but I'm trying to make a drawbridge mechanic here. And at the moment, what I'm trying to fix is my pivot points of the bridge are not correct. So I'm trying to figure out where they are supposed to be. Uh, hey, AZ. Well, I didn't even know that you came in. I didn't see you coming. And hey, Miss Pixie, welcome. It's also your first time here, as far as I can see. Uh, I hope you guys are gonna like it here. I'm gonna try to make it as positive and as nice as possible. You guys will have to bear with me because my laptop is incredibly slow and it means a lot of waiting time for me. But once I have this figured out, because I'm figuring out the pivot points for my drawbridge is a very important mechanic for my first level. I'm making a game called Gaia. Gaia is my daughter. My daughter is almost 5 years old, and she's the main character in the game. This game is going to be about her origin of her name, and that's Greek mythology. And because we're from the Netherlands, the first level is going to be based in the Netherlands, and in this case, Amsterdam. So I'm trying to recreate some parts of Amsterdam that are iconic. So in this case, I'm drawing a double bridge, starting with. Cannot be slower than your progress with React today. Well, React can sometimes be a bit of a thing, right? You're rating again. How did you do that? You started again and you rate me again with seven more people. Uh, well, anything can be quite slow in this regard. I have to admit, because my laptop has been bugging me in this regard for the last few streams. You have no idea. Well, it's a talent. I've never seen that happen twice with the same person. Um, anyway, for people who are first time here, I hope I'm gonna convince you guys to stay. What I'm gonna be building in this game, and I'm just prototyping at the moment, is a game that is about Greek mythology, and in this case, um, I've considered 10 levels to be coming in the Greek mythology part. 10 different gods that my daughter will be fighting on behalf of Gaia, the goddess. Goddess is Mother Earth for people who do not know that. And the only thing in Greek mythology that gods and goddesses have is that they cannot fight each other. So the gods in the game are making a mess. Basically, that's a direct reference to our world leaders who are making a mess of our world. The gods in this game are doing the same with the world of the Greek mythology. And that means that the goddess Gaia needs help of an outsider. And in this case, she chose my daughter. Um, in this level, you're gonna see her go through Amsterdam, being the stubborn little almost 5-year-old that she is, not listening to Papa, jumping over the drawbridge where I cannot follow because I'm with my little boy, and that little boy cannot go so fast. So basically, I cannot leave him behind. She jumps over the drawbridge. I'm stuck behind it, and she sees a portal emerge, and she steps through the portal into the world of Greek mythology. That's the basics of my first level. And what is going to be quite unique, I think, in this game is that I'm also going to make it available for people with disabilities. So I'm going to work on making this game possible for people who are blind, who are deaf, who are almost unable to press more than one button at the same time. So yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. It means voiceover work, means positional audio and things like that. Hey, Lakea, nice of you to join. Welcome, welcome. I was just telling what this game is going to be about and what I have in mind for my game. And at the moment, I'm trying to fix my mechanic for my drawbridge that is not working the way I want it to. Basically, the problem was that the pivot points of the drawbridge are not correctly in place, and I'm gonna have to make some other changes because, as you can see, this bar here, it's not going to be fixed in the end. It will not work that way because when I'm opening the bridge, it will not stay connected because the how do you say that? This bottom part is not going to move in the same speed as the top one because they're not as long. It will not work that way. Hey, Devro, welcome, welcome. Oh, you heard you've been looking. Welcome, Devro. So nice. I see a lot of people that whose streams I'm following myself. So it's very nice if sometimes they join you. Um, I'm gonna have to put it the I'm almost at the correct point for my pivot point in the bottom. As you can see, it's just a little bit too high still. It needs to go like 1, maybe 2 pixels. I think 2, maybe 3. I'm gonna have to figure that out. And I see also that the ground, the moving ground, is basically 1 pixel too low. So I'm gonna have to fix that too. It's not completely in sync with where it has to be. Uh, so I guess that's gonna be like that. Now that's even too much. There, that should be it. It's a little out of whack. It's not completely the same. Don't know why. I see more errors. So hard if you put everything in different parts. You have to just put everything pixel by pixel because it's too far away or it's not far enough. So this is gonna also have to move like just a tad. It's not connecting. Doesn't need more. I think 033 is okay. You got to go, but good luck with the game. You're doing great. Thank you, Miss Pixie. That's very nice of you to say. I am I'm in the process of rebuilding what I destroyed when I started the stream. So I'm not so sure I was doing great today, but I'm doing my best. That's all I can do. Um, yeah, that's the problem you get when you suddenly consider that the A Sprite importer is giving you a little bit of problems. So you decide to throw the thing out, and then you have to make everything PNGs again, um, just to make everything work. So yeah, I'm getting there. I had to do a lot of rework, and that's a bit of a shame. Uh, but let's get all the pivot points correct, and then we see how the script is working. And I also know which part I have to remove or change. Uh, it's really onto the pixels now, but this looks to be basically the point that I want. Maybe I will want to go minus 0.18 and not 17, just to have it rotate a little bit better. Let's try that. And I turned off in my code that it's actually doing it at the moment, because otherwise I might have an issue. And then after this one, I will figure out the other pivot point to be correct. Could even be 0.175. This looks like it's in the middle of that part. Looks good. So now to the top. I could have left that on. Silly me didn't. So let's see where we were here. Way too low. And -1 means that it's gonna be like minus 0.1. Let's see. Let's just go one by one. Let's see where we end up. That's not good enough. It has to be more. Didn't expect that to go so fast though. From 0.1, which is too high, to 1, and it's almost in the middle of the thing. Almost. Almost. Let's say like that. And I probably have to move it a little bit to the left because I want it to be like rotating around this spot here. So if it's right here, then it will rotate correctly, I think. But basically, like I already said, this will probably go loose and be connected in some other way. I don't know yet how. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but if you do, then you would have seen that I also have some chains in here that will actually be hanging. So those, I'm at the moment pretty sure I'm going to have to make hinge joints or something like that, um, just to make sure that they can bend like a chain. But that's also something I've never done before. I never learned game development in my life. I'm just learning everything right now. So I think I'm doing okay-ish. Not great, but better than before. So let's see. Now that I have fixed that, or, or more or less fixed it, let's see what happens now if I try to open the bridge. And I already know that the part that connects from the top to the bottom will not move the way I want it to, but what I also want to know is if the rest moves the way it should. Could probably, this might be able to go without being a hinge joint, but just something that can somehow stay in the same spot or move like that. Not sure yet. We'll have to see how it works. It's a bit more complicated than most of the things that I need to do mechanic wise, but thinking that this is the more important part of my first level, so this has to work properly. If this works good, then the rest of the game will be easier, at least at the first level. I haven't thought of the positional audio and stuff like that yet. I don't even have audio in it at all, so that's all part of a later process. But I know I have to do it. It's very important for making it available to people with disabilities, because blind should also be able to play the game. Deaf should be able to read whatever is said in the game. And yeah, if you're having trouble with multiple buttons, you should also be able to play. Because why would I limit anyone for being able to play the game, right? For some reason, she also doesn't fall down anymore. But I'm pretty happy, I think, with the way the bridge opens now. This is what I had in mind. So you can see the difference already, right? This is opening in unison the way I want it to. The only thing that is, of course, not in unison is this bar, because now it's static. Basically, what I would have to see is if I can calculate it, if that is the same length still, if I would be able to turn this as a loose element, would that still be able to stay in place? If that's the case, then I can just make it a loose element and just program it to make this turn in a different way. I might have to give that a go, but I don't know if I will do that right now. And I'm kind of wondering why my Gaia is now standing in the air. She didn't used to do that, but I guess I will figure that out. Maybe the walls now have a wrong collider or something. Yeah, see, that's it. The collider has moved. I recently saw someone speedrun a Zelda game blindfolded. It really made me think about how I can make my games more accessible. Yeah, Lakea Games Gaming. If you want, I have a Discord server. I can connect you with the guy that I had an interview with about that. He would be glad to assist you in making your game or games accessible to people with disabilities. He's one of the advocates for doing that. So um, yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you contacted him. I can give you his name and bring you in contact with him. He's on Twitter. Um, yeah, I'm sure he would not mind. So, because yeah, that's one of the things that I was thinking about. Like, it makes no sense to exclude anyone from playing the game, basically, right? If somebody wants to play your game, it shouldn't matter if they're blind, deaf, have one hand or whatever. It should not matter. It's just if you can, you should be able to play. So that's why I'm putting so much time into that in the end, or will put so much time into it. I didn't do it yet. Let's fix the collider here. I wish I could just move that collider, but for some reason I've never been able to do that. Just have to put this point here and then the other point. And it's so specific, you have to catch it at the correct spot, otherwise it doesn't work either. And it will probably all change later because I'm gonna figure out how to use tile sets properly from Sprite. And then in combination with tiled, I already have that installed. I just never used it because me and tile sets don't work along. They're not. We're not friends yet, but hopefully we will be. It's all because if I had to import this stuff that this wall had a different box collider than it had before. She now should be back on the floor. There we go. And woohoo! I fall down. That was not supposed to happen. Oh well. Undocumented features. Don't you just love them? Did that happen because I do not have colliders on that anymore? That can totally be the case, but I don't think so. I do have collider on the left ground. Moving ground. I also have that, but it's in the wrong spot. I'm sure this must be the same thing. This ground collider is completely wrong. My goodness. I must be able to just move that, right? What if I just remove the polygon collider completely and just put it back on? Because I think I'm gonna hate myself if that keeps going like that. Polygon collider. See, that's better. It's basically just putting them back in and that will fix it. Okay, so that will probably mean that my ground also has a wrong collider. Yes, it's in the wrong spot. Okay, so remove it. Here we go. Fortunately, it's already selected, so it's a little easier. I might have to fix that a little bit because it's too high. Better make sure that I'm on the bridge when I'm walking. I like polygon colliders, but they're a pain in the ass to do correctly. Anyway, as long as they're working, it's fine with me. Now I should be able to walk on there without falling through. Bug fixing 101. There we go. And now we fall through like I should, but that's fine. Alright. So we've made a lot of progress right now actually. This is good. I'm very happy with this this setup at the moment. So I'm now gonna work on the right side again. That means I'm gonna have to export a lot of textures again. In case you missed that, my Sprite file importer basically hung my entire entire laptop. It says the invite is expired. Okay. Let me post a new one in the chat then. Give me a second. Can you make that even? Do you guys know that? Can you make an export or an invite not expire? Is that possible? Maybe that's my problem. That the link will expire after a while. I should not have it then. Yeah. Okay. It expires in X days, not 7 days. It will never expire. Oh, you cannot have that. Okay, that sucks. Then 30 days. A new link. Yeah, you have to be a community server for that to work. But for 30 days, you guys should be able to join this one. I might have to look into changing it to a community server, but at the moment I'm not one yet, so I'm gonna have to do without that for now. So let's open my right arm. Let's open up my right moving grounds. Let's open up my right pillar. Let's open up my right railing. And that should be. You're sure that's new? I wouldn't be surprised. Every those kind of things keep changing. You know, every time you think that you know how it's working, they do something different. Yeah, it is what it is, and we have to live with that. That might explain why I didn't get so many new people in my Discord server. Now I understand why it was so quiet. I'm like, nobody's coming in to see my Discord server. What is wrong with this? Did I do such a bad job in promoting it? I might still have done that though. I figured it's a nice way to just keep in touch also outside of the streaming. People can ask questions, of course, and see where I'm heading with the game, or even do suggestions or promote yourself. I mean, it's all good. We're all a happy family in the game dev community, right? So the more the merrier, and don't be afraid to ask questions also about things that I might not even know an answer. I'm sure there's going to be somebody in there that does. I need to go test mine now and see if mine is still valid as it was made before that change. Yeah, that might be a very good good idea to check that then. Well, I didn't know it was only valid for 7 days. It was new to me, but it's all good. That's how we learn, right? Okay, okay, okay. And I probably want to do the same also with the ground. Not that it's needed because it was different, but right, left export, no, open. Started to organize these things a little bit more, but there was also an A sprite for that, right? Where is it? Don't have that anymore. Huh. Anyway, I'm gonna have to move it then, I guess. That I can do in the file system, so I don't need to do everything at the same place. Art. Um, Actually, I can do that from Unity. That's better. Let's see my art folder. Too many things here. It's already starting to get a mess. Um, just moving that is not going to be easy. You know that feeling when you want it to move faster and it just doesn't? There we go. Now the ground is in the correct place. Okay, let's turn back on the ground. At least that was still in the correct one. It just moved its position a little bit. Oh, yeah, but that was what was wrong with the ground. I need to redo that one. That was what was wrong with that. I forgot about that. Open file. Where are you? Ground, right. That was what was wrong with this. I have to reselect this so I don't have that much extra shit with it. Sprite crop. as. Right, I'm off for today. Going to watch TV with the wife now. All the kids in bed. Have a great stream and hopefully catch you again soon. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you again in another stream. Enjoy the family time and enjoy watching TV. I know how that can be when the kids finally sleep. It's finally time for you and the missus, right? Enjoy. It's not always that easy to get those moments. I did change that. Whatever. Let's see. Let's see, because now I should have to find this one again. Change the name. So yeah, that's full rect, please. At least we know the drill by now. It's all not bilinear, but point, no filter. We've done this a million times by now. It's basically just to keep the quality of your file correct, because it's a giant mess if you don't. So yeah, and then it's repositioning time, and repositioning time means polygon go off, polygon go back on, poly want a cracker. There we go. And again, I have to fix this one. Whoever thinks of that much space around it basically even takes all the white space that you have. For this, by the way, I have to give credit to Thomas Brush, because I saw Thomas Brush do that with a world that he was making, and he basically used a polygon collider uh, to make a bounce where you can stay in, you cannot go out of that for the and he used that for your cinematic camera. So yeah, don't know why that just turned red. Okay, now it's no longer red. It should be fine, and I can move my right ground layer to where it's supposed to be. Will be about there, then down. Pixel, there you go. That's that. Now we have our right railing. Gonna collapse all the ones that I've already done. All the left shit. Right railing. Tide is gonna be full rect. There we go. Right in here is gonna be point no filter. And we apply. Sorry for the cough. I couldn't catch it in time. Yep. So the right railing goes into the right railing. Should be it. Right pillar. It's missing his sprite. Right pillar, where are you there? And apply. Okay. So right pillar goes in my right pillar. Completely off of the place where it should be. Looks like peanuts, but if it's not positioned correctly, you have a gap, and we don't want the gap, because that's exactly where your player will fall. That looks like it's connected. And now up we go. Kids, don't ever click next to where you want to click. Is it me or is that connected? Yes, that is connected correctly. I'm gonna guess that I might be too close here. I'm not 100% sure, but it still looks like that, but because the rest of it is not there yet. So we're gonna have to do this one. Fortunately, you guys have told me that you do not hear my neighbors banging the walls, because I think they're banging again. I even hear it through my headphones. Anyway, they have to do what they have to do, right? It's part of moving, so I'm not complaining. It's just sometimes a little annoying. Okay, there we go again. Move up. Should basically be able to do this one as for the height at least. So I'm in the correct position. And then the left, yeah, that's not so easy. I have to move it myself. And see, this is where exactly we have our problem that I was telling you guys about. I have to get the correct order in the layers. Otherwise, this will look like it's behind the pillar, and that's not what we want. We want this to be in front of the pillar, otherwise it looks a bit bad. So, gonna see which part is gonna have to be where. The gray box I can already put, by the way, so I should do that. Also here, up we go. Checking this one. We're not gonna reinvent the wheels, guys. That's never nice. This is just a matter of tightly placing it. Gonna have to be close to there. Yeah, that's it. That's where we want it. So we have the ground that's moving still. The ground moving. Right moving grounds. There you go. Right, it's gonna be full rect. There we go. A linear point. Apply. Hope you guys didn't fall asleep in the meantime. I'm trying to keep you guys awake. Don't fall asleep. If you haven't talked yet and you want to talk, feel free to speak your mind. If you don't, then It's also fine. But so quiet that I'm wondering if everyone is still awake or fell asleep. I did notice, however, that my twin has entered this stream. So if you're watching Payaso, thank you for joining. I saw you're in there. You might be in a position where you cannot talk. Maybe you're streaming yourself. I don't know. You're just lurking and just being super kind to give me the view that can be. And if you could talk, I'm sure you would. I'm very thankful for basically everyone who takes their time to join me in stream because it makes the world of difference to me. It's very nice to have you guys all around and talking or otherwise engaging with me to not make me feel so alone. That is not correct. I don't know why that is not correct. Should be, but it isn't. Guess I can just move it down a little bit more. Whoa, that's too much. Oh yeah, of course. 3-5. Oh, 5-1 I was gonna say. 5-1. It's out of whack. 3-5 is better. Shiny Pearls and Gems is following. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. That's always very nice. I really enjoy having people who want to stay and watch the stream more often. That's always nice. So thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. My right arm of my drawbridge is still a little bit out of whack, I think. It needs to go a little bit to the left, I think. There we go. It's a little bit too far. Yeah, like that. Seems okay, right? And as you can see, it also is not connecting yet to the bridge. That means either I have my arm part too high, or I can try that, of course, just making it a little lower, like 3.1 maybe. 1, 1. That connects. So if I do the same with the right arm, 3.11. That also connects. So now we have the bridge connecting. And let's see if I turn on the script now for the right side. I'm pretty sure it's not correct yet, because that has to be calculated in a different way also. But we have something to work on, right? And then we have this. And I might never need that entire lower drawbridge functionality at all, because we will not be seeing that bridge again after after we have our player jump over it. So it might not be necessary to do that at all. So the right pivot point ground. We're now getting that in a wrong way probably. So I'm gonna do the same that I did before. I'm gonna do the raise, but I do the raise now for the other sides. So the right arm pivot point and the right ground, right pivot point ground. Probably is different named. Right pivot point arm, okay. Should fix that because they should be the same. Naming is important. Otherwise, I will never understand later anymore what I was trying to do here. We don't want to have confusion later. I guess I can turn off the fact that we're actually um, raising the drawbridge. I don't care if it does, but I want to know where my pivot points are, if they're correct or not. If they're not, then why bother even opening the bridge? It will look like crap anyway. It will just fly into the space. We don't want to fly into space. We're no astronauts here. It's not taking so long, is it? Ay, ay, ay. Reload script assemblies. Busy, busy, busy. You don't have to be so busy. Just do what you need to do. Reload script assemblies. Doesn't take long at all, does it? I don't think it takes that long. It's very slow. God damn it. Oh, yeah. I have to wait so long. I hope I didn't offend anyone who's very religious. I'm sorry about that. It was not intended for me to curse, but I cannot stand how long it takes for everything to build in this laptop. It should already have been done. 2 minutes just to rebuild this stupid little script. It's not even long, it's not even big, it's just a tiny, tiny script. But we'll get it, we'll get it. We'll get it. So, let me see. Because the pivot points. Where are you guys? Bridge right ground of drawbridge has not been assigned. Okay, that can be. Bridge right ground. There we go. But that was the thing that I tricked myself in first also. It's not ground, it's ground moving. Need to probably rename that variable. Okay, so my pivot points are way off. They're not even a little off, they're way off. Okay, because I think my right pivot point ground should not be so different than the one that I have on the left, but the one on the right, on the arm, I mean, that really has to change. So let me go back to the code. Oh, let's stop debugging first, because otherwise it will never reload. We're gonna have to do the same trick with that basically as we did before. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna make sprite renderers for these also. Sprite renderer SR right, bridge right ground, get component, sprite renderer, sprite renderer SR right, arm is bridge right, bridge, I do it right, arm, get component, I always do that. Demissing. That never works right. Okay, so arm, left arm pivot point, right pivot point, arm. Okay, so we're gonna have to do the same for the right pivot point arm. And we have left arm pivot point, left pivot point, arm, left arm pivot point. Okay, private vector tree. That's the problem if you wrote the script already more than a week ago, then you start having trouble figuring out why you did what you did before. But I'll get it. Of course I get it. I will get it again. Everything that I didn't figure out before, I will figure it out again. So let me put already that line, because why the heck would I write it myself? Right arm pivot point. That's not correct. Arm. So that should not be this one. That should be the other one. And we have to calculate what that will be, that right arm pivot point. Pivot point ground, pivot point ground, bridge right ground. Okay. So we're gonna also have to do that most likely with the same kind of thing. Do vector 3, SR right bounce dot min dot x, SR right dot bounce. Come on. Max dot y plus right pivot point ground of set y0. And yes, I know you don't exist yet, but you will. So that's that. And then we do the right arm pivot point, new vector tree. Here we go again. SR right arm bounce min x plus SR right arm bounce max x. I didn't choose the max because it's my name, right? You know that. It's just a happy little coincidence. Divided by 2. Right arm bounce max y plus right pivot ground offset, comma 0. And of course it's not ground, but this is arm. And I don't have that variable yet. And yes, I should copy paste the well, but I didn't. So sue me. Sometimes I also do it to make sure that I understand what I'm doing. Might not make sense to most people, but if I just copy paste, then I sometimes don't know why it's doing what it's doing or not. So basically that should be again in the middle of the entire transform. So the transform is from basically here to there. So the middle should be more or less there where it's supposed to be. So let's see what it does after this has reloaded to see if the rays are now where I want them to be. If so, then my drawbridge should open correctly as soon as I run the script to actually open the bridge. Now for once I was in time turning off the microphone for that cough. Sorry. Hey Letterborn, you're lurking since you're about to do something. Yeah, always nice to hear a hello from you. And even if you just say hello, it's always nice. We're getting better at the drawbridge part, Letterborn. If I'm lucky now, I will have rays coming at the correct place. I am not. Not even in the slightest. This ray is totally not there. Yeah, thank you. I love the water too. I think that's one of the best parts so far. My shader is absolutely rocking it. Um, but for some reason, my calculation or logic behind where uh, my perfectly nice pivot points are is completely off. And I think I know why. But I don't know why the X of my ground is so far off. It should not be. It was on the correct spot before, so something went wrong there. But what? Let's just do one at a time. I'm not going to do the most difficult one first, so let's go for the first one. Let's see what is wrong here. After we compile, that is. While we wait. And yes, I should probably get that done by a chatbot, but at the moment I don't have a chatbot running yet, so nobody's doing this for me. I have to do this stuff myself, my little promotion of subscriptions and stuff like that. It's uh, it's something that I see with a lot of channels that have that, and I still haven't figured out how to get my chatbot running. I have one, but it doesn't want to cooperate. I guess makes my laptop even slower than this. So might be the reason that I cannot get it personally to run properly. So sorry for the little bit of spam, but it's always nice to point people to it. You might not know about it, but hey, maybe at least I hope I pronounced that way. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. I hope you're gonna have fun. I'm at the moment finding out what is wrong with the drawbridge mechanics. The left part has been fixed. The right side still needs some little tweaking. It's not doing what I want it to do, so I'm gonna figure this out. Um, and when it's figured out, it's gonna work perfectly fine, I'm sure. It's just the small little details that probably are the problem. But I want to see where my offsets are. So I'm doing that one by one just to make sure that it's not getting me crazy. And now I'm right now having which one did I have? The ground, and for some reason it's completely to the left, and I don't think I did that in code. Oh well, let's have a look. I probably did because it would not do anything that I didn't say it to do. So why am I going wrong there? Because it was correct, I think, before we changed this, right? Right pivot point ground is new as a right. Sprite render right. Bounce minimum x. So the minimum x, that is wrong. That should be max x. That's why it's wrong. That's going to be the same for this one also, I guess. And then it should not be plus in this case, but minus most likely. Oh. What bot do you go with as long as you don't write that one yourself as well? It should not make the laptop slower. Um, which one do I have? I have a Streamlabs bot, I think. Um, but I try to run it, and I would also be that I have no clue how to work it. It doesn't seem to do what I want it to do, and I'll figure it out once it gets more important. I think I might have just figured out what the problem was. So, fingers crossed. I do have the feeling that my Polygon 2D is not correct there, but it's a little bit hard to see the light green on the light blue background. I don't know if you've ever had such a thing, but you try to stare at it, but I don't see it. Could be that it's from something else. But we'll figure out when we try to walk through the level. If we cannot walk over it, then it's probably wrong. So, okay. I was thinking I was already running, but I was just compiling the thing yet. Okay, now it's too low. And that for me is weird, because I think I used the same kind of thing. So why is my offset different? Oh, I just did that totally wrong, didn't I? I did. I did see the pussycat. I see, then fingers crossed and just Mel is fine. I'm from Shredder, that's how I found you. Yeah, I know I've seen you there. Um, Always nice when people from streams that you visit yourself come also and have a look at your own stream. It's very nice. It feels like a club of friends coming together somehow. Don't know how else to describe it, but that's sort of how I see it. Like I find Twitch and the community of developers to be so incredibly helpful for each other. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to make sure you succeed, and that is something that I don't find in many other locations. It's basically people do not like that you might be successful and they might not be or whatever. And here it's just people will give you tips and hints that they figured out on their own. Uh, just try to help you become a better programmer, become a better Unity developer, help you using your Unity or your A-Sprite or whatever if you don't figure out how to use it. And it's amazing. I really like it. Uh, like I said before in the beginning of my stream, Acer Ash. I don't know if you guys know this guy, but if you don't, then really you owe it to yourself to give this guy a look. Um, he has been kind enough to have a look at my idle animation and make a new version of that. And as you can see in the right bottom of my stream, that is my current one. The old one, I still have to import the new sprite sheet that he made for me. He did it on his stream during the own his own development of his own game that he's working on. He just took the time, wanted to help, and just made a new version of my idle animation just because he's a kind guy. And yeah, I cannot be more thankful for that. For sure, it's a lovely community. Not a developer myself, though. You don't have to be a developer to be in the nice community, right? So this one is still not in the correct place. As you can see, the other one works. It's in the correct place. It's where we would expect it. But maybe this one, the right arm, doesn't need much. Or did we have... Oh, we had a different value, right? It was zero 0.2. I totally must have messed it up now. It was 22, 0.22. That's when you get when you have new variables and you have them in the order of first things, and then you just overwrite something by accident. This should be correct. Yep, that is where I want them to be. Okay, so I can turn off my gizmos again. Let me do that. This is the kind of thing that you want to not throw away because you might need it again. Now let's turn on again raise drawbridge. Cross your fingers, guys, cross your fingers. Let's see that this is opening the way I want it to open. After compiling. I should go with a disclaimer on my stream, right? You need patience for watching this stream. There's a lot of compiling going on and it takes forever to do. Well, that's what uh, the plea for donations is for, right? It's, I cannot ask anyone to do it, especially not if you cannot afford it. I always say, don't ever donate to anyone on the stream if you cannot afford it. Don't make yourself get into trouble because of some other person's need to get some money. But I really have always said, and I will keep saying it, that I will not put money into the development machine or whatever the stream unless it pays itself. Basically, that's what it's needed. But no one should ever do that if they can't afford it. That's why I also point out the fact that in Amazon Prime you can at least subscribe to somebody's stream without even paying money because you already have Amazon Prime. And it's opening the way I want it. And I find that they don't connect any more of those things. I knew that. That's what I have to change. I'm going to have to make that a variable that goes in a different way. Well, we have the working functionality, guys. This is actually what we want. The rest is going to be details. We're going to have a chain somewhere. We're going to have to see if this is something that moves on its own so it can stay in the same connection, basically, or that we want to connect it using hinge joins. But at least we have a drawbridge that opens like I want it to do. So that is a big win. And especially considering that in the beginning of the stream I threw away all of my sprites because they were using a sprite importer, and a sprite importer was basically messing up my laptop. It couldn't hack it. It's too heavy for this thing. So yeah, it's I'm very happy with the result of this so far, and let's see how far we can get it today. I'm gonna have to change these sprites basically not to have this anymore in the one that moves. So then I can make this either a loose one that's yeah, not connected but moving with that in unison, or I can just see if I make a chain that is connected from one point to another and then see if it moves the way I want it with a hinge joint or something like that. If that works, then it also is fine. And as you might be able to tell, there's also one that's going to have to be from here to there, and that one should already be a little bit bent. So it's not straight, basically. If I can get all of that to work, then I can start to work on the little details, like the wall here in the bottom should not go so slight, and it should go more fast into the depth. Um, this looks terrible still. These pillars, they're not the way I want them to, and also those other little details that are at the moment not the way I want them to look. But yeah, I mean, this is the most important functionality of the first level. So the fact that I got this working now is something I'm very happy with. I'm also, I don't know what I just did. I didn't want to do that. Anyway, what I want to show you guys is that I've been working on a little bit of art for later on when the level is playing, because I don't want this to be just static and just Gaia here. I want this to have some things going on. So what I did is I created a little bit of level decoration. Just one thing so far, and that's a bicycle racer. Um, and I made a prefab out of it already, so I don't have to load it from there, but I can load it from here. And that's my newest pixel art that I did, dabbling in between while I was working. The proportions I'm not 100% sure of if they're correct. They might have to be a little bit bigger compared to Gaia. On the other hand, he's bent over and Gaia standing, and Gaia is about the same size. So that should be okay-ish, sort of. So if you, yeah, she's a little bit bigger, but yeah, she's standing and he's bent down. Gonna have to see. And I'm gonna have to animate this thing, and it will just drive through the level and just disappear out of sight. Of course, this is gonna have to be a much larger level than what I have now. This is just prototyping, and I'm happy that the basics of my mechanics are working, and I'm gonna be even happier if this moves with it like it should. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to use those damn hinge joints, because I've never used them in my life. It's all new to me. So I don't know yet how to do that. I know that it's a solution, but I don't know if it's gonna be the solution. It might have to be something completely different. And then they have to look like chains. So I probably have to go um, using a hinge joint that has a texture or something. I don't know. I really don't know how that works. And I think it's too much for me to figure that out during the stream, but I might have a look at it first, because if I can make it somehow connect, then would be cool. So I think that was something like, where do you put hinge joints anyway? Physics? No. I really have to figure out where to do that stuff anyway. And then later I'm gonna have to look into lighting the scene a little bit more. As you can tell, Gaia is not lit at all, so she's very dark, because the sprite is actually much lighter. If you look at the right bottom of your screen, she looks much better there, which is a GIF, of course, but should not make a difference. Anyway, I don't know yet where to do the hinge joints. Is that a game object? I don't think it's a game object, right? Physics. There it is. So, components, hinge joint. We also have fixed joints, spring joints, character joints, and configurable joints. Wow. Okay, let's look at hinge joint. Now what did that do? Ah, okay, that puts a hinge joint right here. Okay. I don't think that's what I want. I'm going to remove that for now. Or should I? What is it? Hinge joint, hinge joint. Angular limits, connected body. There should be a rigid body connected to it. Articulation body. Looks pretty complicated if you've never used that before. You have a spring and motor. Use limits. Brake force and brake torque. I have nothing. No clue if this is what I want. Open the reference for the hinge joint. Hello? I just had a moment where I could say open reference for hinge joint. There you go. It's opening up. Don't have to do it twice, 3 times. Oh my goodness. First it doesn't do it and then it does it 3 times. Okay. The hinge joint groups together 2 rigid bodies, constraining them to move like they are connected by a hinge. It's perfect for doors, but also be used to model chains, pendulums, etc. That sounds like what I need, right? I want to connect a chain. But how do you use them like a chain? Let's see. Connect the body, optional reference to the rigid body that the joint is dependent upon. Not said the joint connects to the world. That doesn't sound like something I want. To anchor the position of the axis around which a body swings, the position is defined in local space. How to configure connected anchors is enabled, and a connected anchor position will be calculated automatically to match the global position of the anchor property. This is the default behavior if this is disabled. Yeah, I think I have my work cut out to figure this out. A single hinge joint should be applied to a game object. The hinge will rotate at the point specified by the anchor property, moving around the specified axis property. You do not need to assign a game object to the joint's connected body property. You should only assign a game object to the connected body property if you want the joint's transform to be dependent on the attached object's transform. Think about how the hinge of a door works. It does seem like the thing that I want, but it's too much to figure out in this moment, I would say. But I think in this case we need to have a connected body as well, because the way I read it, wait up. The way I read it, if you do not use the connected body, then it will treat it like a door hinge. So that would mean that, yeah, you can only anchor like this. But I want things to stay together. So no matter how they move, the distance between it should become fluid, like a chain. So I do think this is what I need. I do not know yet how to use that, and I don't know what that angular limits is. I don't even know where the thing is right now. And I don't think I need it on the drawbridge itself, but it's supposed to go between 2 of those items here, because you will want to have one going from the arm to the pillar, like this part, and that on both sides. And you want to have one going from the arm to the ground moving, and then to be exactly there. That's where I would want them to go, and that way they will be able to move independently but connected. and this is going to be tough for me. uh, I'm sure I can do it because, I'm like Pippi Longstockings. I've never done this before, so pretty sure I can do it. But what I did say before, and I didn't do that yet, is that I have to fix the order in which the layers are used. Because now the arm is basically on the right behind the pillar, and it should be in front of the pillar. Or at least look like it's in front, otherwise the shadow is not showing. So what can I do about that? I would say the railing is good, the pillar is supposed to be behind it, so that's good. Let's say the railing should be is already 1, the pillar should be 0, then the arm should be 1. That's for that one. Accidentally that one already worked perfectly, but yeah, you don't always have that same luxury. Railing is 1. Let me have a look. Pillar is 0, then the arm should be again 1. And there you go. It's on top as it should be. Now that's already a good improvement. We have everything that we want. Um, and I think I'm about to go end this stream. It's already 10. I was supposed to stream for 2 hours more or less. So I think I did pretty good. Um, and I'm happy with where we ended up today. I think we did good. Even though it was a little bit of a struggle in the beginning, I had to put everything back again in place, otherwise it was gone. And in the end, we have a functioning drawbridge, which I think is pretty good. And now we just need to have some details like those chains moving in the correct place. If we have that in order, then we're basically golden. We have a we have our main mechanic of the first level working as it should, and that is a victory, I would say. Thank you. It's very nice to hear, Mel. Um, I'm gonna have a look at who we can raid. That's always nice to do. There might be some other interesting people to see for you guys. I think I already know who I'm gonna do. Uh, yes, I do. So let me see. I'm gonna go to his stream first, but without sound, hopefully. Otherwise, we're gonna have a little bit of a noise issue. No one likes that. Okay. Let me see. It's loading for me, so it takes forever. My laptop is already at the end of its width. Thanks, Unexpected Game Dev. Thanks for your support. It's always very nice to have you around here. You were, especially in the beginning of the stream, the one that kept me sane, because with your kind remarks and things that give me hope that I can actually do this. So yeah, thanks for everything as always. Thanks for everyone for being here. I hope you had a wonderful time, and I hope to see you again soon. Because at least next week I will be streaming again on Monday. Um, Not sure if I will be able to stream on Wednesday. That's usually the day that I do it. I don't think so. I think I have a cybersecurity event that I'm going to in Amsterdam. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna do what we're gonna do, right? Fridays usually are not possible for me to stream. Otherwise, I would do that. But I will see you whenever I have a chance to go live again. If you follow me on Discord, if you don't, then please consider doing so. I can post the link again. I think I still have it. I will update the one on the channel, and then you will be able to follow me on Discord as well. You can always ask if you want to. Anyway, we're gonna go first before we even have a chance, so the link will come in a later time. Have fun at Setolix. He's a really nice streamer also, and I really enjoy his stream. So be nice and enjoy. See you later.